One of life's promises is a mother's undying love for her child.
Watermelon Hill begins with a quote from Sister Marie Dolores. "Close the door and never look back. This is finished for you now."
Linda Back McKay is a poet, a writer, and a mother who had little choice but to close the door and put her baby up for adoption. She was just 19 in the midst of the sexual revolution in the 60s. When she told her parents she was pregnant, her father called her a name she says she will never forget.
Whore.
And told her she was unfit to keep her baby.
It was worse than, murdering your grandmother. It was ruining your family is what you did if you got yourself pregnant.
This is where the Catholic Infant Home used to be, on Carroll Avenue in St. Paul, where unwed mothers gave birth only to give up their babies. The boys in the neighborhood gave this place its nickname. They catcalled to the big-bellied girls who looked like they were hiding a watermelon under their dress. The girls of Watermelon Hill.
It was just a horrible shame, that not only on yourself, but on your entire family.
Details of the building are sketchy. Only a few photos exist, a few bricks remain. It seems like the place and the past were erased, out of shame. Scared and all alone, Linda gave birth to a boy she named Jeffrey. She was one of the lucky ones. Most babies were taken from the mother immediately.
And I went into the nursery and held him, and I took off all of his blankets and all of his clothes and everything. I just wanted to make sure he was perfect, and I kissed him goodbye.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your voice.
Sister Jane McDonald was a novice stationed at the Catholic Infant Home in the late 60s.
Sometimes did really, really well, and sometimes we didn't do so well.
We will refuse to return the assaults, verbal or physical.
Jane is still an activist. She cares about the community. So when she looks back at her time, she's ashamed how the young mothers were treated by society.
They carried the stigma of shame.
Jane says some of the mothers' emotions are frayed even today. She read a letter she kept from one of the girls.
I haven't talked about my baby since I got back because nobody wants to hear about it. I really want my baby even more when I found out that he was born blind. Do you think I was selfish? Where has my love gone?
Oh, Peg.
Yeah, well,
It's so good to see you.
Peg Riley is happy to see Sister Jane again, who was one of the few who gave her comfort when she was just a teen at Watermelon Hill. The year was 1968.
Little attitude there, wouldn't you say?
Peg remembers going down to the jewelry store to buy a cheap wedding ring so outsiders would think she was married. Like all the other women, she was given a new name during her stay. It was, they said, for her protection.
I was pretty shell-shocked, and there certainly was no discussion about whether it was a good idea, because the expectation was, of course, you would do this.
The women questioned themselves, decisions they'd made, but never their love for their babies.
I don't think that anybody can really understand what that is like unless you are a birth mother.
Try to put yourself in their shoes.
It's just something that you don't really get unless you've lived it.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling.
She knew there would be no anointing, no extreme unction. After signing the surrender, she knew the penance is fault and the loss is eternal.
Ancient mothers, I taste your tears.